My husband treated me like trash because of the arranged marriage, and now he suddenly had a change of heart, but I am putting an end to his evil plans. So a little backstory: I and my husband Vernon have been married for 5 years. It was arranged by my grandfather and his uncle. We are not American, so it's common here. Vernon wasn't too thrilled about the marriage, and he made it very clear because he was already in a relationship with Felicity. Long story short, Vernon, his family, and Felicity did the most to make my life hell, and my dumbass was stuck on the idea that one day he might change. About 3 years ago I found out I was pregnant, and I was excited, but he wasn't given. We only had intimacy a handful of times before that. He got it into his head that it wasn't his. The baby had complications and I had to get a medical termination. Not once did he or his family come to the hospital, and I guess that opened my eyes and I just stopped caring. I stopped trying. I just stopped caring. Early last year, he suddenly started caring, coming home early, calling me, and bringing me flowers. It was quite uncomfortable for me. Then he tells me that he's had a change of heart and wants to try to better our marriage because he's developed feelings for me. It's all fishy to me, honestly. I wouldn't trust this man as far as I can throw him. He's been doing these little things and I just can't shake that there's a joke coming at my expense. Now on to the story. It was my birthday last weekend, and Vernon told me his family was hosting me a birthday dinner. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that, and the last time I was at his parents', they literally told me my baby's complications were my fault and kicked me out because Felicity was uncomfortable, not to mention that they haven't apologized, just started acting friendly. I kept telling him no, and he kept insisting. He let it go, and I assumed that was that. I made plans and went out with my mom and cousins, and he starts calling me asking me where I am. I told him, and he tells me that he's waiting for me. Long story short, his family is mad that I skipped because they apparently wanted to apologize so that we could move forward, and Vernon keeps saying he understands why I did it but has been apologizing for everything and nothing. Last night, Felicity called to cuss me out because they've left her high and dry, and Vernon wants nothing to do with her, so maybe they did want to apologize. I thought I was in the right, but now even my cousins are telling me I was wrong for skipping. Now I'm doubting myself. Am I the a-hole? Update: I decided to talk with Vernon after he came home from work. It went somewhat okay. I followed some advice in the comments about starting over on my terms. I asked him questions I needed answers to, and he gave me answers. I wasn't completely satisfied, but it was a start. I told him I would give our marriage a chance, but he had to know that he was completely done with Felicity and would be completely on board with this. I told him to stop with the love bombing because it was making me uncomfortable. I told him I would not be having kids in the near future. I told him I was not ready to be his wife and that we would continue with our separate rooms. Surprisingly, he was on board with all of this and said that he wasn't a boy anymore and that he was getting older and he needed to sort himself out and make things right. I asked him if he only had a change of heart because he wanted me to take care of him in his old age, and he said no. He said he realized that Felicity isn't what he's always wanted and started seeing her manipulate toxic ways. He said he was willing to put the house in only my name. It's 40% mine, entirely as a way of showing that he is all in and would mess up if I give us a second chance. He said he was willing to give me as much space as I need. He said he'll have a word with his family about me needing time and space and taking baby steps. Honestly, don't know where this will go at this point. I don't know the direction in which we are headed, but I'm willing to try so I can have a free conscience. Update 2. I told Vernon to go through with the transfer of the house into my name, and he did. I guess he knew he would be getting more money, so now I own the house. Nobody told me anything about the 180 change, so I decided to go to Felicity. I know it was stupid. She was the only one who was willing to give me any information since she's spiteful, and I think I got what I needed. It's not much, but it's enough to cement my decision. Turns out, Felicity had her womb removed when she was younger, so she couldn't give Vernon children. The whole family found out and turned against her. Uncle has been speaking of retiring, and Vernon has been at war with Uncle's sons to either take over the business or become one of the decision makers, and a child would guarantee that he would give a large sum of the company shares that would be in his name and the child's, and since Felicity couldn't give him a child, I was the solution. Felicity told me as much as she knew, and so I went to one of Vernon's cousins. I confronted him about what Felicity said, and after a heated back and forth he finally confirmed everything. I don't know why, but that hurt. Even though I knew it was too good to be true, I still held on to hope that maybe I was wrong. After the conversation, I decided to play along until I could get out. He completely cut off Felicity, and it's scary just how much he's acting like she never existed. I put in a transfer to a city 12 hours away from here. My head teacher knows my situation. I brought up moving to my family, and the majority of them said I'd be selfish if I did that and their whole lives are here and all that, but honestly, I feel I should put myself first. I told them it was just a thought and that I would never do that. I listed this house for sale on a private auction page. I refused to be intimate with Vernon and told him I wasn't ready. He told me we'll work on my time, but I see him getting increasingly frustrated each day. Even though I am scared for myself and my family about what they will do when they find out, I've decided to leave and am not changing my mind. Update 3. Vernon found out and was not happy. He made it very clear. He told me we were to have a family meeting the next day, and I just knew we had to get out. When he went to attend evening prayers, I gathered all the important belongings I had and told my mom and brother to get ready because we had to leave. I gave them the information they needed to leave in case I didn't make it. We had the meeting in the afternoon, and it wasn't pretty. The uncle came and was angry that I brought shame to the family with my actions, and everyone took that as a green light. I ended up with a split lip, a dislocated shoulder, and a few broken ribs, but at least I didn't go down without a fight. Looking back, I feel proud of myself. I spoke up for myself, and I defended myself and the people I love. I honestly thought I wasn't going to come out alive. I couldn't breathe properly. I couldn't move. For a while, I just thought of killing myself because I was in so much pain. But my mom and brother managed to get me out. I don't know how. I don't remember a lot because my memory became foggy, but I got out and am alive. We reached our new home. My family is still adjusting, and I'm still healing. I hope I heal in time to start working. We are safe, and even though I'm scared that they might find us, I am relieved. I feel free.